Recently I've been wondering what it would sound like if I use the most expressive keyboard to control the most expressive analog polysynth. And since I happen to have both of them right here, let's see what it sounds like. And by the way, as you saw in the title, we're doing a giveaway for the Osmose. So if you want it, check out the top comment for all the infos on how to enter. Anyways, before I connect it to the Deckards Dream, let's have a look at what it can do on its own. Alright, here we have it, the Osmose. And as you can see, this is not your regular old synth or keyboard. It's actually an entirely different beast, if you will, especially in regards to its expressive capabilities. So for those of you entirely unfamiliar with the Osmose, what's the difference between a regular keyboard? Usually you would just have velocity as a means of controlling the timbre. So how hard you hit the key. And this would determine some characteristic regarding the timbre and also, of course, the volume. And from this point on, where I hit the key, my only means of control is when I want to let it go, and that's it. On some synthesizers, you have a bit more control in terms of aftertouch, because on some synths you have aftertouch, where after you press down the key, you can press it down a bit further, and this will give you an additional control over whatever parameter is mapped, usually something like volume or filter or vibrato. On the Osmose, however, it's a bit more advanced even, or a lot more advanced actually. First, you have the pressure range, where the pressure that I apply is continuously being tracked. And it always reacts to what I do, which is crazy. Right now it's controlling the volume of the sound, but I think also some of the overtones, how bright it is. And then once I press it down even further into aftertouch range, I have an additional means of control, and it feels like here it is also being continuously tracked. So it's not an on-off switch once I engage the aftertouch range. And here in this case it makes it even brighter and adds this additional texture on top, this airy texture. And as if that weren't enough, I have another horizontal means of control here. In this case, over the pitch on the horizontal axis, giving me effectively pitch bend and vibrato. And for this preset here, it's actually mapped in the most intuitive, standard kind of way that you would imagine. Yeah, the harder you press, the more intense the sounds get, and on the horizontal axis you bend it. But if you think about it, it doesn't have to be like this. Actually, you could use these three means of expression for all different types of controls. For example, here on this preset, it starts out as this melodic percussion. But once I engage the aftertouch, it actually creates this rhythm, and I control the tempo of the rhythm in the lower range of the key. And of course, all of this is polyphonic. So what I do with one finger doesn't necessarily have to control anything that I do with another finger. And another thing that's also special is what they call pressure glide, which is a bit different than regular glide. So for example, if I were to have a glide between these two notes, usually I would press this one. And once I engage this one, depending on the settings, the note would wander onto this note. But as you may notice, in this case, it doesn't do that. it actually only goes halfway. And only once I start to lift the pressure from the first key, it actually goes all the way to the next note. So right now it's here, now it's here, and now it's here. And this can be controlled completely manually. I think for this preset, the pressure glide range is 1 octave. You can change it manually or turn it off completely. So whenever the sounds are at least an octave apart, they don't affect each other. But as long as they are within an octave, they actually have this pressure glide enabled. So for example, if I wanted to control the pitch through the glide manually across this entire range, this is the way. Yeah, regarding the internal synth engine, you can actually create your own sounds using the Haken audio editor on your computer and then import them here. And it's actually a bit overwhelming at first. If you want to dive into that, I highly recommend you check out the loop hop video that he did on the Osmose, where he goes a bit into the basics of how to create your own sounds here. But I really have a lot of respect for the people that designed these initial presets. It's like over 500 of them and they sound so advanced. And realistic. But of course you don't just have these physical modeling type sounds. You could also just do classic subtractive synthesis. So for example, here we have the obligatory CS80 sound. Which also sounds lovely and is mapped here also in the standard way as you would expect it. Both the pressure and the aftertouch range control the volume and the filter. And horizontally you have the pitch bend again. And as if that weren't enough, apparently it can also do FM. And this is crazy because it sounds so much like a DX7. And of course, for all of the sounds, you also, in case you don't want to dabble too much in the super advanced sound design in the program, you always have a certain number of macros here, several pages usually. Yeah, where you get some possibilities to shape the sound from the starting point of the preset into what you like. And yeah, some things that they added recently through the last software update is of course the possibility to actually use favorites and create your own playlists. So what I did here is I created a playlist of some of my favorite presets. They also added a pressure glide to the MIDI mode. So if I now were to use this as a MIDI controller, what I would do is I change it, press this button, change it from sound engine to external MIDI. And then I have several modes here, which I'm going to need for the Deckards Dream. First you have a classic keyboard mode, which would just be a regular MIDI keyboard then, polyphonic aftertouch, and MPE. MIDI polyphonic expression contains all of the information of the stuff that this keyboard can do. And luckily the Deckards Dream can actually also just go into MPE mode, and then I'm going to have a lot more control over the Deckards Dream than I would by just using it with a regular keyboard. So stuff like pitch bend, pressure glide, And I could also map whatever I like, whatever kind of MIDI CC onto the aftertouch and pressure range. All right, I guess that's it. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know and I'm gonna try and get back to you. And now lastly, let's check out my little MPE jam with the Deckards Dream and the Osmose.